Shit, it's instant.
Yeah, it was instantaneous.
Yeah.
I just realised the sort of the party overlay might be a bit confusing.
You have to ignore that.
Yeah. Well, we have to ignore a lot of things.
Well, we gotta preface with why we're doing a commentary anyway. Have you started recording? You have, right?
Yes, of course I have. It's playing, isn't it? So yeah.
Yeah. Basically, we would have just posted the video of this, but the audio messed up pretty bad. So we're now doing some sort of director's cut thing.
It's not a cut though, is it? It's just from beginning to end and us just talking over it. It's the director's commentary. And I don't know if you could really call us like directors.
We directed where our characters moved and where they shot.
You're a stupid animal.
Okay.
Like, here I am picking my first upgrade. Pretty sure I'm going to immediately re-roll. Oh no, I picked dexterity. Smart man.
That stuff's never worth like re-rolling really, because it's always going to be like the simple upgrades.
Pretty much.
Which is pretty weird.
And I took the graviton launcher, which I did not expect, just because I'm supposed to be doing some kind of explosive slash fury build. I do kind of think that Commando might be the best. He's grown on me way more than Ranger has. Like, Ranger hasn't grown. I just liked Ranger from the start, but he never got any better than that. Commando grew on me though, and I like Commando because the short T slash rocket build isn't great. It has a pretty it has a pretty massive power creep later on. That's what I was using yesterday. Whereas like when we got about just over halfway through, all of a sudden I became disgustingly overpowered. So that's cool. But then it's like there's other stuff. It's like Fury, which is his passive, and also just explosive damage in general. And you don't have to combine the two necessarily, or at least if you just go for a pure Fury build, there are other perks that are related to Fury that are more like tank oriented or healing oriented, and it makes room for that if you're just going for Fury. And that's just normal. Just find the best weapons you can, whatever they are. But if you go for an explosive build, you're going to be using exclusively explosive weapons, but Fury will be a big part of it anyway, and you'll just end up being a DPS powerhouse of explosives.
Fury really is the foundation of Commando. There,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Even if you're going for like an abilities build, because abilities are fairly quite separate from Fury actually, but Fury still increases their like attack speed, I think, and there's also an elemental thing where it makes those abilities deal elemental damage that is increased by how much Fury you have. So Fury is like the backbone of him. I mean, it is the passives are kind of the backbone of all of them, kind of. Although I can't really remember what Engineer's passive is. What the hell is Engineer's passive?
Engineer, isn't that like?
Is it just having drones? Is it just?
No, I don't think so. I can get up.
Well, no, because I can look it up. Well, the Scrap Blaster is his main ability. Or is melee override is what they call it actually. Sorry. Passive ability is Repair Buddies, which is that's just when you use the ability when you have drones.
Why is this relevant again?
I'm just thinking about passives and if they are actually all that important to the class. I mean, Guardians is the most like not important to certainly its best builds, but also in general, it's like not that tied. It's not really tied to the melee, and it's not really tied to the shield either, in really any way, right? I haven't seen.
It's what makes him look like more of an all-rounder than inherently a tank, which I think he is supposed to be a tank. He's called Guardian, but his passive does not play along with that like at all. But yeah, I don't know. Shall I talk about what my build was? What I was doing?
No, I'll do it.
Okay. Well, I'd be impressed considering I can just about remember this.
Well, I know that you got Line Breaker at one point, and I know that you got the thing that where you heal scratch damage while your shield is up, and that's it.
Which isn't saying much because I think I pick that one every single time I play him, right? I find the scratch damage repair one essentially essential.
Let's
I
go
may not
here.
pick it, but I definitely will pick it.
So, big part of the explosives build is mini missiles, which basically you gain a mini missile every time that you, for every fury point that you generate. But you can also have it so that it just generates them 1 per second as well. And then you get elemental ones as well. So he's got a very strong elemental build because you get to a point where you never don't have the mini missiles. So you basically have a constant stream of homing shock missiles. So yeah, I have a pretty strong feeling that Commando might secretly be the strongest class. It's fair, like for
I've
anyone.
never.
And I found this, which was very, very nice, very lucky.
I'm gonna. Wait, what was that?
Legendary Pulse Blaster, which is obviously a homing explosive weapon.
Yeah.
I was immediately booned by the RNG.
Yeah, and I noticed earlier that you didn't pick the mushroom, right? And I don't quite get that because is the AOE of your explosions really that precious?
I don't quite get it either, if I'm being honest. I don't know.
Like, surely, like the AOE is still there, and there is a lot of it, but you'd just be doing more damage to like even more single targets and still the multiple enemies. I don't think the AOE is that important.
No, it's not really.
25% of it.
Yeah, whatever. No, you're right. I think you're right, and I don't have a good reason to not pick mushroom. Actually, there is something like an explosive thing. If you pick the explosive upgrade, you can get one. Makes them deal more damage for hitting more enemies. It's not that needed. The two weapons I ended up using were the Pulse Blaster and the Missile Gatling, which are both homing weapons. So you're never not going to be hitting it in something, basically.
Yeah. I don't know. It's I don't know. It obviously didn't hurt the build entirely, not picking it, which I think ultimately those kind of things are like that, right? Like if they're not, even the legendary ones, they're not make or break. Like it won't like create your build. Although in saying that, I'm pretty sure mine did.
I don't find. Oh, what you mean? You mean legendary weapons?
No, I mean the just the little like trinkets or whatever they're called, like the little square things, like what the mushroom one was. They don't like. They tend to help. They definitely help, but I don't. You know, you're not a giant loss for not having picked that mushroom, right?
No.
Like it didn't screw you over not picking it. It wouldn't screw you over picking it. But I think, you know, not even defined to rarity can change since I've forgotten what it was called. But obviously I picked one this round, which kind of defined the entire build I then went with, which was 25% quicker like ability recharge with a 10% chance of getting hacked when you use it. And that basically paved the way for this entire build. I was like, fuck it. If I'm going to get hacked, I might as well quadruple down and getting this shield as quickly as possible. So then I picked literally everything that gave me quicker shields. And that includes like other stuff like that and the normal upgrades.
Yeah.
And yeah. And really, I didn't do much else. Like there was nothing boosting my damage, I don't think. Really. Like I just like kind of hit things with Bash because most things that most of his abilities makes Bash stronger, just like casually.
Well, there
Like,
it
he's
is.
not even
There's the epic missile Gatling. But it took me to the end. Missile Gatling is pretty up there in terms of my favorite weapons. Actually, just pretty disgustingly powerful.
Like, the burst rocket rifle.
Yeah, I would, wouldn't I? I wonder where that came from. I don't even know if there's any like. I don't even know if there's any reason for that to come back. I mean, I can see it coming back. You know, it's something to fall back on for Ghost Ship.
Yeah.
They need not if they need an idea, but it's just like because they all kind of have this weapon prototype made, it could still function as a good template to build off of, even if it ends up going in quite a different direction. Even if it's something like more like a pulse blaster, actually, could be interesting. deep rock weapon.
Yeah, although I'm not sure about the homing things they've been doing, and I feel like yeah, we're talking about deep rock right now for the Roboquest viewers.
Which there are some. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, I imagine this will go up on the Reddit, right?
Well, I can't imagine there's any exclusive Roboquest viewers to our channel though, or many.
Could be.
We don't
but yeah.
upload enough Roboquests for that.
Yeah, but considering the amount of stuff that is Roboquest related that's uploaded, we're like the main people making videos on it. But yeah, I didn't realize we're already 6 minutes in. This is gonna this is gonna be a bit of a challenge.
No, we're 10 minutes in.
Oh right.
To the footage. To the footage. We've been talking for 10 minutes. I mean, so. Not gonna, what do you mean it's gonna be a challenge? These rooms are. I don't know. Are they? They are actually. No, they are. Sorry, they definitely are. I feel like they've caused our deaths more than anything else. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, bosses don't. Whenever we died to a boss, like, not really ever, right? Maybe the first.
Maybe Catacoaster.
Yeah, Catacoaster has a couple of times. Yeah.
Because he's a bit. I don't know, man. He's a bit
But yeah, normally,
unbalanced.
like if we can pass those room checks, we can kill the boss, right? But if we don't pass those checks, that's where the game ends. That's where we lose. That's where we die. It's either that or like the big guys, right? The giant robot.
They're not that bad. I thought we had. No.
Not anymore, but still, like out of the stuff they throw at us, they're the deadlier ones.
Yeah. I think it's it speaks to something to me about how not another thing about how overpowered Commander is, but like it's just the fact that these two weapons, they're not the only homing weapons, but they're definitely the best ones. Like other homing weapons are what? The fire gun, this little fucking fire pea shooter. These two are like the pinnacle of homing weapons in this game, basically, and they're both explosive. I'm just immediately it's such a exponentially like beneficial build. Like everything's helping each other so much. It's so easy to play when you have this build. It's weird. Oh wow,
Yeah,
a blast arbalest. I actually don't know what I picked here. I think I picked Fighting Pulse. Yeah, because Fury is just as important as anything else. The more Fury, the more you are. The more you are.
The more fulfilled you are as a person.
The more Fury. Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Nick Fury.
Why do you just keep saying Nick Fury? Eh?
Don't know.
All right. Yes, I mean we steamrolled our way through here, right? We did pretty.
Ah. Do you have a pulse blaster as well at this point?
It looked it, didn't it?
It does. Why? Mentioned it. I think I remember praying like, no, please not El Mosquito, and it wasn't. But at the same time, when you have like build that's all homing weapons, El Mosquito's not a big problem.
Yeah.
He's not even hard. He's the most annoying one in my opinion, though, out of the first lot.
Yeah.
At least Dr. Turret and Billy Boom aren't annoying, certainly. Diggy Mole's a bit annoying. I mean, Dr. Turret's probably this one. I don't know.
He's kind of easy. I mean, the beginning ones they're not that hard. They're not meant to be that hard, right?
I wouldn't call any of them hard except the fucking caterpillar.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. I mean, it's sort of. I think the first bunch are actually pretty well adjusted. The difficulty. I think they're probably as hard as they should be. And then the Judge Ball probably is harder than these guys, but then Catacoaster is just a sort of cut from a different cloth, I'd say.
Yeah, well, I feel like the middle one is a bit of a check, right? Like you can probably kill these first guys without even inherently good build, right? You could probably just get this far in. Why do you keep pulling up the thingy?
An accident.
Then stop it. I've lost train of thought now. But yeah, the middle guys, they're rough, right? Because they're when your bad build is obvious, and they will put you in the ground. Um, Although chances are the deadly rooms will probably get you first, like the ones that lock you in there. Um, which I imagine for people that kind of just run through enemies, since that is an option, they're even bigger of an issue, right? You get caught and actually have to fight enemies. Um, and then the final bosses, as we've said, literally, if you reach the final boss, you're probably going to kill him. What was the sound?
Walnuts.
What?
I don't know. Oh, I thought the music stopped. It didn't. It just moved on. Sorry, I don't know what to do when it's very difficult to pause this because I'd be pausing more than one thing. Also,
Well,
that thing keep coming up. It's I don't know. I almost can't avoid it. I don't even feel like I'm putting my mouse in that area.
are you touching a mouse in the first place?
Because I'm erratic.
So what? Did you pause the recording?
I didn't pause anything. I was just letting it play, and I was just staring really awkwardly at the person who walked in. I was just staring. I just didn't know what to do. I just. Also, anyway, the track that's currently playing is one that I just don't recognise from the game, which is weird. It might be from Aqua Station. I don't know. Which I assume is something that's going to pretty immediately change in 1.0. Is because both Oasis and the ruins both lead to the fields where we are right now. I assume one of them will be different in 1.0.
Yeah, could do. One could be the scrapyard. I wouldn't be surprised if the ruins leads you to the scrapyard. Yeah.
Well, but the Aqua Station and the fields are very similar aesthetically, though. I don't know. I feel like the scrapyard. I felt like must be somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know what they're planning.
Why not? Figure it out, Harry. Do some espionage.
That's not what that means. That's not figuring things out.
You need to sneak inside their building, hack into their mainframe.
Playing a bit wank at the moment. Just noticed that wasn't impressive as usual. As usual. Well, the best thing about the I think the reason I like this build so much is because it lets you focus on movement a lot. I don't need to like focus on the enemies as much. I can just sort of move around and stay alive and just hold the trigger.
It keeps giving you a weird amount of speed boost.
It does. It does.
You keep varying like 6 and 7 and stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, you took some damage there.
Yeah,
that's probably because you were behind. Oh, I forgot about that. I just got there and I immediately got flung back. I didn't even land on the actual place, so I just landed on the thing and it immediately threw me off. I assume I got the post stamp. Yeah, I don't need any of those weapons. Well, no, it's because those fucking mortars were firing behind me, and you were behind me.
So you just landed straight on my head.
Yeah. I mean, I assume someone went down at least once. I don't remember.
Well, I could probably go down here. Let's give me a moment. To...
Well, we'll see. I mean, how do you, in general, feel about that strange mechanic? Like, honestly, I don't think I've seen it in any other game where you share health when you revive. You lose half your health.
Well,
I think the thing that I do have an issue with it in the sense that I think an auto reboot shouldn't take away the other player's health. I think it should be when you do it manually. You're like sacrificing.
Yeah, but that would just encourage. Also, I went down. That would just encourage people just sitting there, right? And clearly, this is not the kind of game that wants you to just sit there.
No.
So I think it would be bad.
Maybe flip it then. Maybe flip it.
Yeah, but I think the other thing is that they don't want to make health out of nothing, but I think they also don't want to be unreasonable and always force you to respawn on like one health, right?
I mean,
I think they probably want to like a good mix of both, and it's just half of whatever your teammate is. Especially since this game is not like a co-op game inherently, right? Like it really is like a single player experience that you just get to play with a buddy, right? That's what it's the buddy bot. No, that's the other thing. Robot is your teammate.
yeah, Brobot.
So you're basically like kind of, I don't know. You're basically signing up that you two are like one, and you're going through this. And that's why, yeah, I think trading your health, it's weird and interesting, but I think it ultimately makes sense.
Oh god, I thought you might have gone AFK for a moment there. What was I gonna say? I have no fucking idea.
Oh, this is
yeah.
I did triple shotgun right now.
Oh yeah.
Which, as you can tell, was doing amazingly with no damage boosts at all because I don't really get any. Even if I wanted it, it's really like it's nothing.
I think this is when I picked Reparo Fury. There's a part your scratch damage every second for each Fury point. Very good. One of those tank. Because even in this build where I focused on explosives, I still had room for some of the tank upgrades. So overall, just worked out very well.
Yeah.
Not at any moment did I feel even remotely weak.
Yeah, it's really strong. Like just having that, because then all of the healing orbs you get.
Do you see my scratch damage? It just goes straight back up. I don't really take damage. I don't.
Yeah, and then basically it's just then instead of wasting the healing on just getting back your scratch damage, you immediately get that all back, and you can actually start healing again, like with the orbs. It just makes everything. Except if you keep taking damage like that, then.
But it's still going up. It's like pretty much all the way back. I didn't lose anything. I didn't lose.
You lost like 50.
Shush.
All right.
Yeah, I think these rooms, these ones in particular, are the biggest killers. For some reason, the energy center ones are almost not as bad. And I don't know if it's the layout. It might be the layout.
This layout is terrible. It's such a giant open area, but also that cover there isn't really helping you as much as it's helping them.
Oh look at that! Tom joined. Imagine if we could have done something cool there if we had Tom set up to join the call at that time.
He's literally never even.
Oh my god! Oh my god! My brain's so stupid. I saw him show up on the right, and I thought he was talking to us. I saw him show.
You are very stupid. Yeah. A reminder that the thing on the right doesn't mean anything.
Relevant. Yeah.
It's a figment of imagination. I died again, and this is a thing. Is that despite this being when we beat it,
me going sicko mode,
not like my build, because even with giga boosted regen, I'm talking I probably had 60% quicker shield recharge, right? Because even then I have the stopwatch thing, so I went in there with it being quicker. And then got the 25% bonus from the thing. I got probably the upgrade twice. Some skills that probably gave it to me. I probably had the quickest you could possibly get it back, and it still wasn't really quick enough because it never even lasted long enough. And I don't know. I think Guardian is quite weak.
I actually agree. I agree. I think he is. I think
there's essentially nothing you can do to make your weapons better. You can get really quick burst fire rate with your shield up, but your shield is up for so little time, and you get to use it so not often that it's not a thing.
Yeah, I mean he's an all-rounder in the sense that none of his sort of three sort of I guess you would call them spokes, three branches really they don't really synergize particularly.
No.
Which means you're always, I don't know. I guess it would make sense to focus on top quality and shields, but you've sort of said that top quality doesn't really feel particularly effectual. It shouldn't be though, should it? It's a very outward just damage boost, but it doesn't pay. It feels like it doesn't really feel like it pays off at all.
No, the tree is really bad. Like the first thing, it starts with like it brings up the 33 to like a 50%. So the first half of your gun does more damage, which first of all, for some guns that changes a lot. Like what I mean, like it's the first 50% of charge of the burster there, for example, or the first 12 of that gun. But then if it's like a gun that only has like 3 shots, like, is that good or bad? I can't quite tell. But and then I'm not even quite sure what the other top quality ones are. They're not much better. I think they give you ammo back, or have a chance to give you ammo back, which
Yeah,
kind of
and then
weird
there's Punch Bolt, and then there's
yeah, which is
which is completely
absolutely
isolated. It's so bizarre.
yeah. It genuinely, I think it's quite clear that Guardian was one of the first things they made, and they kind of just left him like as is. Um,
Like
and
you're in the
yeah,
energy center.
but yeah, I mean, I still play him because first of all, he has a melee, right, which is what I like, and you can basically just say fuck it, I'm gonna ignore like all that stuff, and you just pick the 3 skills that give you more health. Like, 3 of them are just like we do all these things plus 10% health, and I pick those 3. Focus on like giga increasing my like the healing orb strength, healing orb duration, picking up the healing orbs, the healing like the all bot healing, and obviously the scratch damage thing. And it basically just it means that no matter how hard I try, I can't really go down. Um, and obviously I went down quite a few times in this, and I still do still, but it's because I didn't really go for that build on this one. I went for the recharge, which I don't think really worked in any way, shape, or form. Um, but yeah, I don't know. He's he definitely needs a bit of help, but
I feel like
as I mentioned,
I'm actually looking at Guardian's like skills or perks. I feel like lock and load combining that top quality seems to be quite good because eventually lock and load you can get, which is usually sort of a class neutral one, kind of. I don't know. It's in the class specific ones. Even though I'm pretty sure it's neutral. Triggering lock and load grants infinite ammo for 1.5 seconds, which I guess that would only really help something that's like there's a very small magazine size, I guess, and then
I've
you want
seen
to
that.
keep it in
I've
top
used that
quality for
with
like a while. I don't know.
I've used that with like this was probably one of my first builds, and was the reason why I fell in love with the one using right now. It was literally with your shield up, you get like double fire rate, right? Or you can get like that with like a bunch of skills. I then also had one of the pulse burster with the overcharge on it, like the other thing. So I did that, and literally that thing emptied its clip in like less than a second. Like the fire rate it produced was unholy. And then I got lock and load, which essentially allowed it to not overheat instantly. And it was like that period of time where it was just a armada of shots, just an unholy number. I've not actually tried that since, so I might give it another try. But um, that one does work pretty good. Um, I wouldn't say inherently with top quality either, though. Just generally, I think it's just quite good. But yeah,
Observe what's going on. I just realized having the map covered. I'm sort of instinctually trying to look at what's happening next because obviously one of the things that's always very clear is like when you're about to enter I think one of these. If you are gonna open the door, Tyler.
I'm probably doing like 3 skills. Like I do not spend like any of my
Yeah,
skills.
but like I'm looking to the map to see if one of these is coming up, and I realize I can't see the map right now.
Yeah.
So I can sort of guess. But yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I guess these do feel kind of
It's a
easier
really
than the other
smooth
ones.
around. There's a good amount of cover. Like I don't know. I think it's just an easier place to find. Um, just nicer.
Although it really brings out some of the worst enemy types. I think I don't know something about these rooms.
A lot of shields going on.
Yeah, a lot of shields.
That's just kind of the
There's
empty
no
place,
real,
really.
there's no sort of weapons or sort of anything that really goes through shields either, which is interesting.
No.
Those shields. Nothing that goes through your shields either, to be fair.
Once you're shielded or they're shielded, that's it. Figure out something.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Like armor
Berries are the
lock
thing.
from Halo Reach, isn't it?
Those guys are fucking lethal.
Yeah, they are. I don't
Right.
have a huge problem with them. I don't know which one I have the most biggest problem with, actually. Honestly, and I think we might have the same issue. It's the ones that shoot like the free projectiles, right?
Or just yeah, generally, try burst, like
The tri-jaws, yeah.
yeah, they're in all their forms screw me over often.
Anything that shoots three projectiles at once is just the bane of Tyler.
Yeah.
Oh, this is when I switched out the pulse blaster.
I think this is when I probably picked it up. I think.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know why I did that. It's because I realised that they were kind of doing the same thing. My two weapons, and I was like, I feel like the missile Gatling is more for me anyway. And it was also a high level. I just happened to have been upgrading it more, so it was just going to cost like loads of power cells to bring the pulse blaster up to speed. So I just swapped out for something that functioned differently and was already at like, you know, the level that we were at.
Spoiler, but I think you swapped this out at the end as well, and I picked that up. So I think I was using both of your like old weapons at the end of the game, which tells you how much I give a shit about the weapons.
Yeah, I mean, I still didn't find the rocket launcher to be of particular greatness. See, really whack.
Yeah, I mean, it's working, but not thriving.
I mean, there's nothing that sort of produces like really big explosion, is there? Like something that could hit everything in that room at once is sort of something that maybe I wouldn't call it missing, but it would be interesting. But in a game like Roboquest, it would almost have to like not do much damage, to really be balanced.
Yeah, but even then, damn well it wouldn't be balanced, right? Because if you gave that thing a status effect and you can inflict an entire room with shock, or like an entire room with just like fire or something, then that would be like giga strong. Or like with skills, I imagine there's a skill that's like. I mean, you mentioned there was a thing with every enemy you hit, it does more damage. If you got that and that, you'd probably end up with shit tons of damage.
This one I picked Black Powder. That was just literally just a neutral, increased explosive damage and radius by 10%.
I like those upgrades a lot. I think they're just like when your skills that you wanted weren't there, you're just like, oh screw it, stat increase. I'm just gonna be better in a simple way. I like it.
I like it. I'm just sort of thinking about the balance of the game in terms of weapons, because I think in general it's actually pretty good, but I noticed some pretty major pitfalls, which I would say honestly, I think the throwing weapons are pretty low down. Right? Maybe the lowest, the throwing axe and the throwing knife, because I think about all the others, I think the rifles are actually all pretty good. Some of the pistols are sort of a bit lackluster. I like the crossbows are good. Maybe the bows aren't, I don't know. But like the rifle crossbow and the dual crossbows are great. There's all this kind of stuff. I think maybe it's the throwing weapons are the lowest, actually, which is kind of a bit awkward, because it's really just the two of them, the throwing axe and the throwing knife, and they're both not great, really.
They're just like, what even are they? They're just kind of worse. Oh, right? Where it's like a slow thing that then ricochets to like one enemy and uses kind of crit, right? Or like...
Oh god, oh, this is when I went down. But obviously I had that thing.
Yeah.
Second wind, you might call it. Or like, I don't know what the Hades one is called. A bit more like that, I think. You just instantly get back up. Skellies.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, well, obviously that would be really good. Like, it's really good in solo, but in two players, it's arguably a waste, right? Like, you should be able to opt in to use it.
Yeah, and I've never actually taken it while playing solo because I don't like it. It's sort of like a crutch almost. I don't know. I have like a weird habit of avoiding certain things that would help me.
That is a very, very weird habit.
Like, I don't know what the best example is actually. Well, maybe not that. I don't like playing things that are too easy though. I don't look. For example, I don't like playing critical weaknesses in Deep Rocks. Like, this is just. I'm too strong. I don't mind low gravity and rich atmosphere as much, but even then, they still have the problem of fucking with your perception of movement immediately. I mean, anything that does that, you were like immediately like, did you have a thing where you like thought you had rocket boots when you didn't or something? Or you got very quickly
Yeah.
attached to the effect that they had on your movement? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like we got it, and then I disconnected, rejoined, I lost the rocket boots, and I was immediately like, oh.
Oh, nuts.
Yeah. I think maybe, I mean, they intend, I think, to add a lot more variety or a lot more things to do in the missions, like with the new quests and that. And I feel like maybe they could have, like, room anomalies, which I think many other games do, I'm pretty sure. Like, the thing in Gunfire Reborn, right, where some in rooms, like, enemies would turn into the exploding lanterns or the pigs, stuff like that. And maybe they could do some things like that where you walk into a room and it's just kind of different. Also, I didn't realize we had the cattle ghoster in this one.
I couldn't remember either. I thought, did we get unlucky or did we get lucky? It was either one.
I don't remember.
Dodgeball was lucky. Catcoaster is unlucky. I mean, I think the main reason the dodgeball is easily like was because it's just a very big weak point. It's always sort of available to you. Catcoaster's weak points are on the front and back, and you have to be sort of on the rails to be able to actually access them, shoot them. See, in my case, it didn't really matter with my homing weapons, but wasn't doing much damage anyway.
You can do weak point to the explosions.
You can do critical damage. I mean, there's an affix that makes them deal weak point damage, but you can get like explosions. You can give them like auto critical chance. I think it is happening sometimes. Not sure.
Wait, was this the one where I had to just like time my things constantly? It was this one, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was.
You're dead, right? So like,
I am
clearly
dead.
This wasn't the one that went well, and he's at like almost full health still.
Yeah, you just use it there to just go straight through him. It looked like. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, no, I'm timing to get the bobs.
I mean, there's bombs you could just jump over. To be fair.
Yeah, no, but like I'll just fall off and take the damage from the floor. I didn't notice that one, but I regained all my scratch damage there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have.
I didn't even spec into bash inherently, but it's still probably the thing that I did the most damage with, just because everything else that I spec into gives you bash. Like literally, it pushes you so hard to use bash, which is why I think Bonk Hammer is essentially the next step, because it actually makes bash then good, essentially. Laggy.
You're a smart man.
In the game, right?
Yeah. In the game. Oh, well, I'm back up. Wow.
Yeah, because I told you I'm like not doing any damage. I would just slowly die. So you needed to get up and actually kill it.
I think this is the moment where Viggo Mortensen broke his foot and channeled the energy of his scream into his performance, his pain into the performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, you still don't actually know that you can break the beams, do you?
No. I think I do die again, actually.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty embarrassing, if you ask me. What a loser.
I mean, it helps prove the point that the cattle coaster is a bit of a wank.
But not the problem with the judge. I mean, the judge ball's like it's actually kind of weird. It's like I said, it's just sort of just a big weak point that floats around most of the time, and it's also just a flat room. It's just there's a lot of there's two pretty major differences there. What am I doing in the real world?
Oh, you just fucked off.
I lowered the blinds, closed the blinds a little bit.
Harry has a face cam in the original footage as well, but I thought it'd be really weird if you could see that. So we've slapped on the current face cam on top. Can you actually is it the same size? Can you still see the timer under it, or is
yeah, actually, yeah. I didn't even think about that. But yes, you can see the timer.
We definitely didn't get an S in time in this one, did we? I mean, actually, I think we're already at C, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
good show. Good show.
Yeah, this is kind of just Guardian. Like, Like once again, this was not an entirely great build.
Yeah,
I've
I think
tried
you
it.
waited me out again. This shows how you're not doing much damage because both times you just wait for me to auto reboot.
Yeah, like nothing I do is inherently strong. Like I'm just
And now it's on
there we
me.
go. It's up to you. Which actually I remember this. This was it this one? I think it might have been. Um,
Before I go stupid, I go dummy.
crazy. This is where you channel your broken foot into the power you wield.
Well, there's a bit of a weird moment there.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
seemed like all was
Yeah,
lost.
look at that. Literally, you would have touched that and died. Yeah, I swear.
You could still die actually after killing it. Actually, if those things are still
Yeah.
around, it will still hurt you.
Yeah, but you gained health from leveling up from killing it, so it wouldn't have killed you. Yeah.
Alright, Haven City.
Yeah. Well, look, we did make it in the end.
Oh, what did I pick here? Yeah, Baby Boom, which increases. No, it gives them a chance for a second explosion to occur. Let's start
It really
rocket
is the
jumping.
explosion, Garni.
Well, actually, I don't even know if those are class specific. When I think about it, I'm not sure
I've
what
never
actually
seen
makes
that.
him the explosive guy.
I've never seen any of those things on.
Okay, let's have a look at Commando then. Commando. Well, the rockets are a big part of it. Or him having rockets is something. The mini missiles are actually probably the biggest thing. Because they're like just an explosive thing that he has. Okay, yeah. It seems like it is actually a thing. Only he has. Baby Boom. Okay. Okay, fair enough.
Bad baby boom. Oh, bad baby boom.
Baby Blue. Right, what's going on right now? Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're a fucking cloyne. AFK.
What AFK? I'm deciding what gun I won't use. I was never for a second looking at a gun. I have so many of those things that I'm looking at right now. That's just what I have.
So this is when I noticed something really weird about that Baby Boom upgrade. The second explosions have decreased damage but increased radius.
Oh.
They're bigger but they're weaker. It's really bizarre.
If you had the mushroom, it would equal that out to just being another normal explosion.
Yeah, pretty much. I've noticed something though about the starting rooms of both Havens, both the cities are pretty fucking can be brutal.
Yeah, I mean, remember the first time we got there, we were like,
well,
alright.
it's just because there's so much stuff and there's no immediate cover. Obviously, there is cover. There's no immediate cover. You're just sort of thrown into it. Yeah. Oh, there's a big fella right around the corner.
Speed guy. Speeding around.
Odin. What good not terrible armor either. Actually.
Yeah.
How much total health did you have? Must have been about 600.
I mean, once again, it wasn't exactly a build where I focused hard into that, but it probably would have been around there. How much do you have?
You can see. Can you read that?
Oh, sorry.
Try.
No, it's literally like 5 pixels.
520.
Right. So yeah, probably at least 600. Unless I picked something that reduced my health, which I think I did do some point. Oh right, sunglasses. But
Don't catch me wearing sunglasses.
Well, because with him, it is essentially then you like if you pick the 3 plus 10% health, or the upgrades that just 10% health as well, you can then pretty quickly and easily get that health back to where you're at a normal level, and you just do more damage. Obviously, you could also just not do that and have shit tons of health, but then you won't be doing the more damage. So, I think this is an alright choice for Guardian. You can so easily get the health back.
Have you ever been in a position where you have like you're able to inflict all 3 elements with one gun.
No.
Really?
At best 2.
Well, that's not that hard. I mean, it's pretty simple because there's that affix that makes you just sometimes deal another element, and then you would have like that upgrade that makes your weapons just always deal an element. And if they're all different, then you deal all 3 at the same time.
Oh yeah. But I've never really done that because I don't see the value in anything other than shock.
Well, there is value in fire, obviously.
Is there?
Maybe not over shock so much, but
we can at least agree.
especially when you're no, because like shock requires a bit more sustained fire. If I'm just sort of dashing through and maybe dashing in and out of cover, burning is going to help me a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna get all 6 damage. Congrats.
No, look, see, it's 8. It was 8 damage over time. Was it, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean that's what though? Another shot worth of damage. One of those rockets is how much it does like over time.
It is also just more DPS technically.
I guess.
I always have I have shock as well.
Yeah.
I have all 3 actually. I think
I can have 2. You put those 2, but just I don't know.
Well, I didn't actually have shock on my weapon. I didn't actually have fire and ice on the weapon, and I've got shock missiles, mini missiles that I generate.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if you spec all into shock, then you can do it all like instantly.
Yep. But I mean, it's weird. In my brain, I'm sort of, I don't like doing that because I like okay, they're shocked now, but all I'm doing now is just shocking them even more. Maybe I could do something else.
No, now you're damaging them. That's or now you're not getting.
That's why I like having fire as well.
Yeah, but if it means you're getting shocked, like you're shocking them in less time, then it just means you're increasing the risk on your life.
What's going on here? That's explosions auto-critical chance, which I assume I... Okay, good. That's what I wanted me to pick. I don't know if we're just wrong. I mean, because I do genuinely believe that shock is best one, and they should be balanced, I suppose. I hope we're not wrong.
Not wrong. I'm sorry.
We're not wrong.
Like, first of all, like I know we're not wrong because community thing. Actually, I was looking that up as well. Like you know, they were like, "Oh, what's the best build?" And it's just like a full shock engineer, right? Everyone recognizes shock.
Yeah, it's a great build.
Yeah. Then but it's just a simple fact that you freeze a boss, he slows down 12%. You shock a boss, he stops working for like 5 seconds, right? Clear as day. You set fire to the boss, you do maybe 100 to 200 more damage overall throughout the entire fight, right? It's just kind of doy.
Bosses, well, that's a different story, certainly. So even better there, kind of. I mean, I think the burning helps. I don't know. Bosses is interesting. As in, bosses are interesting, kind of, in the way that I don't know, because the final bosses are not difficult, are they? Beach Royale and Uncle Jim. I don't think I've been killed by them. Oh, actually, I was killed by Beach Royale once on a Heroes Plus 6 run. Almost deliberately. I almost let him kill me, to be honest. I actually think I could have done that if I was trying. Either way, those guys are pretty damn easy, but they're also not actually the final boss, which is something weird. Where like we finished the game in a lot of different forms. We finished it in its ultimate form, which is Heroes Plus 6, but it's still not actually finished game, which is kind of weird when you think about it.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can't think of another game where it doesn't. I like played it to its like maximum, and it doesn't actually have its proper ending in place yet.
I've never played a proper game like that. I had a mobile game that I got in pretty early on and like caught up on. stopped playing for about a month, and they had like 3 to 4 updates.
A mobile game.
Content.
Was it the Battle Cats?
No, it was some. I think it was like Idealon, and it was just Idle on, and you would just.
So let us know if you're an Eidolon fan.
You just set up your characters to like farm, and then you'd like leave.
Have you noticed how dark it's gotten in my room?
Is it what?
Have you noticed how dark I've become?
Yeah, they can't see it though.
I know. It's another track that's playing that I just don't really know where it's from. Bit awkward.
Is it?
Yeah.
How is that awkward?
Because I feel like I should know. Maybe we should talk about the music though, because that guy is kind of insane. But it's something that happens quite often in games like not even games like this, but there are certain games that just do this where they have someone who doesn't actually do primarily video game soundtracks. He's kind of just a guy who makes music, and they're just like, here, do this. But like the entire Fury soundtrack is just composed of people who aren't primarily like soundtrack people.
Yeah.
But this guy is like one guy doing an entire soundtrack from the ground up, but he's still not a soundtrack guy normally.
Yeah. I think with the Roboquest, right, is it's kind of easier to have a soundtrack like all the way is just done by one person like that, because it's just I mean, what is it? Like, what's the genre? Like, just not dubstep, is it?
Dubstep. I mean, it's electro. I don't know. It's EDM of some kind. I actually wouldn't know what sort of subcategory to put it in. Electronic music. I mean, so Dipsy Toads do a lot of things. There's a bit of electro rock even at some points. That's all I could really. Yeah, I don't know sub stuff, but sure. What am I going to get here? Mini generator, I assume. Yeah.
You just like keep making those types of songs, and it will kind of just fit in. It will just work. And like, you know, like deep rock, how it's got to be like really specific and sound similar to everything else.
Right now, we're just going to loot something we haven't been to yet.
Not that we probably need any of it.
No, I think we won't. Ugly tie. More damage against bosses. Lovely. I mean, this is like honestly, those things are the only part of the game that's kind of like unfinished. Obviously, there are lots of parts, but you know what I mean? Because it's something that we really took note of, especially in our first few times playing it. Certainly, our first few times getting to this point was how polished the game is, despite being unfinished. How polished what's there is, you know?
Yeah, but this stage, we're exposed face to face with the end, essentially.
Yeah.
Like this was it. That this could have been the end, especially since we got lost and we like couldn't find our way out, so we assumed it was just ended without ending.
Let's try that one.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right.
Rank in that mission though.
Even shitty corrupted. Oh god. My arms hurt. You notice that like sort of like line where it's cut off underneath?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that?
Oh, definitely not. I mean, like I don't want to use the word half-assed, but it's literally, it was like, this is like a thumbnail of and not like thumbnail, just like a quick sketch of what it's going to look like when they're done with it, not actually it being done, right? That's what that is. Like, yeah. Not finished. Which is a theme of this part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that the actual encounters are done. Like, I can't tell if those things are meant to be something, but I feel like they are. They're supposed to be like different mini bosses, right? I don't know if we know that, but it definitely gives that impression. I mean, look, okay, we can see your health now. My max is 600 right now. You're at 726.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I could probably reach higher than that.
Okay.
I can do it, Harry. Well, because that's really it, though, right? I can't focus on doing damage or getting quick or anything, but I can get a bunch of armor and a bunch of health.
That's it.
I would be fine with if, like, I don't know, the passive helped it as well. Then, like, I don't know, anything.
Well, it does seem like Guardian's getting a bit of some, help in the 1.0 update.
I think they have changed his. With the spoiler we've seen, which I guess this is a spoiler, but it's not on the Reddit. What was it? The current one, top quality, looks like a perk that you would just be able to get in game. So I wouldn't be surprised if that thing was a universal one, right?
Oh yeah. Well, it almost feels like it, doesn't it? Certainly, because it doesn't. It feels very I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's part of his identity. So...
Compare it to everyone else, right? Like awareness, frenzy, and overslash. Like that those stuff have like paragraphs of mechanics that only they have. I think engineer is a bit lighter, but it still ultimately relies on him having the little turret sentries to heal. Yeah, top quality can get given to anyone, and it would make sense.
Well, that's Tyler. I'm thinking about that picture, and there's the Robo Food thing, which obviously could be a passive, could be a neutral one too, but it also could be something to do with his new passive. I don't know.
The new passive is fortified, if I'm reading it right. It's one of the things like makes fortified better. I think was like how I put it. I'll try and find it. Bastion, stim bubble. While Bastion is active. Wait, is that a normal thing? That's not the normal thing, is it?
I feel like Bastion might be the shield.
It's called a safety bubble.
Yeah, I know, but it might be changed. While Bastion is active, it's very possible though. That's a new passive.
Either way, they would have renamed that, so they're definitely changing them up a bit.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
It might I would assume that there might be more for Guardian than the others, but I think everyone's getting some stuff, or at the very least they're adding probably more neutral ones, like maybe the top quality things. Everyone's going to get.
They're adding a new character,
and of course there's a new class. Yeah.
they moved around some of the old ones' equipment.
Well, that'll be interesting to see if it gets something an old thing. Maybe it's a top quality. Maybe it's a top quality guy. No, well, it wouldn't be, would it? But another track was playing. This one I really don't recognize even slightly.
I mean, I don't know how you recognize any of them really.
Like, I do. I recognize the boss ones. Oh, I've realized why. Hold on, I shouldn't play that.
It's a different playlist, isn't it?
It did. Yeah, we got to that point. Well, I mean, I recognize a lot of them. I recognize the Corrupted City. I recognize the Corrupted City one, and definitely like the first boss one are quite recognizable to me, and obviously the loading screen one too. And also the end screen for like a section, or when you die. There's at least 4 tracks that I find quite distinct.
Yeah, but then like most of the in-games, like what we're listening to probably while we're doing this is just.
Well, no, this is a Corrupted City. This is one of the more. This is the one that you would probably recognise. You commented on it yesterday, so I like this one.
Yeah, but it's like it's not the same track, is it? There's probably like 3 or 4 of them that get.
That's the thing I don't know. I haven't. That's the thing. See, that does speak to something. I haven't noticed the tracks change in the sections, even though I'm pretty sure they do. I just assumed there was only one per level.
When you went AFK, do you remember like a while ago? I sat there and had like the headset on, and I listened to the music for like an hour, right? I just heard the music change like multiple times.
Well, the map was like, they were not quite done.
But you can see the top were not quite done.
Oh right, yeah, that's a good point. That's a bit more significant, actually, I think.
Yeah. Do you want to explain your gadgets?
My gadgets.
Yeah,
Well, I can't remember what they are, to be honest.
I'll help.
Well, I know what the helmet is. Obviously, it's just plus 10% armor.
Yeah.
Easy
The
pick.
other one you've got, it looks like business
Oh
briefcase.
no, hold on. Lucky Horseshoe. That is increased chance to find better weapons. So that's why I find so many fucking legendaries and epics.
Yeah. And business briefcases gain 2 power cells by leveling up. So
Mhm.
pretty simple stuff, really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want stuff that changes my movement too much or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just a bit attached to these ones anyway. But I don't even want something that I think would be good, like decreasing the primary ability cooldown, because that's not going to be good, for, in my opinion, for every build. I'm just so obsessed with something that's going to work all the time. This is pretty, I wouldn't call it a problem. It's just sort of a way that I play things where you have control of any kind, even in a roguelite. I still want to make sure things are as consistent as possible.
And yeah, some of them are a bit goofy and silly. Like roller, I don't see a universe where you should pick that over some of the other things, right? While riding for 6 seconds, or while riding and for 6 seconds after riding, increases fire rate by 16%.
I think I take this actually because it has fork on it.
Really contemplated that.
Yeah. Oh, what's going to go on here? I assume full throttle because literally the only thing left is the boss. Oh. I rerolled. I assume Fury. Gold oil. Yeah, there you go. Now I'm the best I can possibly be. Oh, right. Yeah, the assault pistol. I take it? I do.
Yeah, you do.
That's when you get the rocket launcher. Look, you go.
Whee!
Whee! Oh, there's still more shit.
Yeah. We just ignored it though, because can't level up anymore. What's the point?
Oh my god, we did, didn't we? That's interesting. I don't know how many new weapons they're adding, but I can tell they're doing stuff, given they're getting grenades. But then, of course, like when I heard about that, I didn't quite know what that really was, and then it was like, it's a weapon.
Yeah. Where you just throw it. But a new throwing weapon, which is, always a good part.
What? Beetle Royale. What a pansy. I don't know which one's harder. I think Uncle Jim is probably harder. Maybe.
Jim's harder. See him having a bit of a cattle coaster issue with the terrain being an important part of it. I mean, obviously this has a bit as well, but it's still fairly simple. Just like the floor will slowly disappear. Yeah. Is this the one where we got stuck on like a tiny little platform?
Deliberately, yeah. It must be.
Yeah, and I'm like 98% sure that like if anyone falls, it deletes the whole thing and it's the entire file.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. That's yeah. You're not crazy.
Which I'm not surprised, because then it would basically like, I don't know, the beetle would then have to be able to attack 2 people on completely different floors, which just doesn't make sense.
I actually wonder how many people play this on what platforms, because something about it feels more like a controller game. I don't know why. I might be just talking out my arse, but especially because it's more movement focused. But I don't know if that makes it more of a controller thing or not. As in, I would assume that maybe movement being more important would make controllers better because of stick.
It looks more like a couch gaming kind of game. Like it's rounded and soft and kind of thing. And also, yes, this was the one we were there.
Yeah.
How far does it go? Do you know?
No, I'm not going to find out. I still haven't even used like the jigsaw box, but yeah, I have. But...
Yeah, you just destroyed all of it, falling down.
Evidence, right here. I mean, it's clearly not any kind of real challenge.
Yeah. Ooh, that was it. Our first time beating Heroes Plus 6.
Oh, I didn't even know there was like an Oasis like do thing. I don't know if you've seen that. The Oasis restyle preview. Much? Got a minute left. Do we have to like?
This is our wrap up time.
We have to. Is that what we have to do?
I guess. Yeah.
Well, this was the first Barrel Vision commentary.
Yeah. This is a pretty easy video to make, so it's a react video essentially. Right?
Well,
we're reacting to our own stuff, which I think is morally fine.
it's not a reaction. It's not a reaction, Tyler. I think reaction content is different from a commentary. A commentary is. Oh no, not exactly. I mean, there are some people who do commentaries, and this is actually pretty cool. People do like commentary like channels where they like record. They record commentary tracks for like movies and TV shows, and actually, usually their videos will just be highlights, and they'll have like a Patreon where you can get access to the full track. And obviously, it works because it's just their audio, and it's just like you just play it along with you watching the movie, something. It's like they're just making money. They're making money off of exclusively off of like things that other people have made, but in a way that is completely copyright safe. It's like,
Yeah. Just by imbuing a bit of thought in it.
but usually a commentary track is something people commentating over something that they've already something they've made, like a director's commentary, and that's more what this is. Because we're already doing it, so it's not a reaction. It's just commentary. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess there's not much to react to. We were already there.
I would say if you enjoy this, like maybe I don't know what to say. That we'll do more. Like, will we? I don't think so.
Probably not. I'm not sure how much we're going to be. I mean, you're going to be playing it plenty. I'll probably still join you in occasions, but there won't be much more to talk about this game until launch, really.
Yeah.
Then we'll be back for that. Definitely be back for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, look. I mean, I'm actually going to turn the music off. Roboquest has like pretty quickly taken a spot. Certainly, my favorite current games. Current being quite important, but also it's clearly got like so much. I would say so much potential. I wouldn't even say that because it's already so good. I mean, more so potential in terms of its life as a product, actually. In that it might hopefully will end up having a very similar cycle to Deep Rock. I actually don't think it will hit the same heights, to be honest. Fortunately, it won't.
It's not built like Deep Rock.
No. Well, Deep Rock's very specific. It's actually very sort of isolated in the type of game it is. There isn't anything actually exactly the same as Deep Rock. Like there are games like Roboquest, but it's very similar, but in the way that we've encountered it. Different still kind of different times, but it's basically just the before 1.0 aspect, an early access game that is what it shares with our experience with Deep Rock. Which I don't know if that's inherently generated some kind of sentiment where it's like we need to protect this thing and carry it into victory. It's our child
to leave the nest and grow its wings. It definitely has. Like, yeah, I don't know. It is a genuinely good game with a pretty cool dev team by the looks of it so far. Not that we know much about them particularly.
Well, they know us.
Apparently, yeah, they do streams. I'm not sure where you find them. I assume
Twitch.
Just Roboquest on Twitch. I'm not sure how many people stream Roboquest on there. I'm actually going to look that up. So stall for time.
But either way, yeah, we beat the game. This was us beating the game in the past. God, can you imagine if this video's audio is fucked? We'll just throw it away. What?
Like, I guess what I'd be out of sync with you, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't happen, but I still don't know what caused that though, because I just assumed it was something to do with the stream, right? Anything to do with streaming, not OBS itself. I guess I was wrong. Um. Anyway,
Roboquest.
am I supposed
The
to?
first thing that came up was Gunfire Reborn. There's one guy playing it.
Oh,
Or Roboquest.
you better.
No results found.
Oh my god.
Like the game is there. It's got 2.2k followers, but no one's streaming it. Which begs the question: what?
Deserves love, affection.
Okay, I think this is actually wait. I think
Pretty sure
I
I had
found
a, pretty sure I had a dream last night where the only thing that happened in the dream was that I had longer hair. That was it. The entire point.
That's what happens when you dream. Time passes and your hair grows longer, and you get closer and closer to death.
I mean, hold on. Are you looking for something that you want to say?
RoboQuest Live is the dev stream by I'm pretty sure the official Twitch channel for the FPS roguelike RoboQuest.
I don't know about that. That sounds a bit fake. I don't think that's the real guy.
James Aroni as we show you the latest and greatest of RoboQuest. Play along with viewers all here to show their love for RoboQuest. And then they've got some like stuff, the Discord, Twitter, and Steam. But yeah, well, it's because as we mentioned, this is probably going to be the last time we talk about it actively, or make a video on it specifically. So,
I mean, we could do something going through all of the teasers because there's quite a lot.
Yeah.
I think we should actually at some point. Maybe I don't know when. Maybe when maybe if they have some kind of announcement that's like a release date, it doesn't really contain anything else. I don't know. I'd love to talk about it at least once more. I'd love to somehow make one more video or 1.0, and it'd probably just be that. I assume that there's nothing to go on now. That was the last dev vlog, May 24th. It's July. It's the 1st of July.
Yeah, Pitch Podge, first of the month, no return.
No returns. The month of no return. Okay, if you enjoyed this commentary track, please make sure to comment your commentary.
If you're from RoboQuest, check out Deep Rock. If you're from Deep Rock, check out RoboQuest.
That's the Battle Vision guarantee. You like one, you will probably like the other. If you don't, you probably don't like the one that you liked before anyway. You probably don't.
That's how that works. Even though they're essentially completely different games. No. Yeah.
Whatever.
See ya.
Bye.